I love makeup. I love how to do makeup, and my aim is to just teach you guys who find makeup difficult how to do it in an easy way using less products. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Everyone is my friend. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you're new to me, my name is Mutsad and it's a pleasure having you here. And if you're an oldie, I really appreciate you coming back over and over and over again. I do not take it for granted. Today's video is going to be another back to basics video. We are going to be learning how to place your contour and your highlight, how to highlight and contour your face. So if you want to know where to place your highlight, your contour, and your blush, this is the video for you. And this video is especially good if you're new to makeup or you just want to upgrade your techniques. This is the video to watch. So without further ado, let's get into this video. As you can see, I've already done my eyebrows because today's video is not about eyebrows, so I did my eyebrows. I'm just gonna go off camera and do the foundation and then come back with the next step. That's concealer and highlight. Okay, the foundation is on, right? This foundation is a little bit lighter than I am, but we are going to leave it like that. I look weird with a band. I look so weird. The first thing I'm going to do, like I said, is blush. I'm just going to use this dense small brush, right? And I'm going to use this. This is an old palette. It's the Switch Beauty palette. I don't have any other blush palettes, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to go with this pink color. I am not a fan of blush. I've started doing it because I want to like it. Okay, and then we're gonna go here and then all the way to the top of the face. You see, I've just put a lot of product so that you see where I'm placing it, right? So I'm going to do the same thing the other side. I'm going to start here on my cheekbone and then you drag it all the way up to your head like this. That's where I place my blush, right? Same thing here. And then I'm gonna go all the way underneath my eye like this. And then just put the product. I love blush, but not a lot of it. So I want to go in and then blend the blush that I have on my face. I'm gonna go in with this brush and blend the blush. When you are blending, make sure you blend going up, right? Everything you blend going up, even underneath your eye, make sure everything is up, because we want to create the illusion as if we have a facelift. We want to pull all our features upwards so that we look like we have a little facelift. Our face is not dropping essentially, so we pull it up. We do the same thing. I like to go into the eyes like this. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer. I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal. I have had this for years. No, I've used this for years. I think this is one of the best concealers that we have on the market. And yeah, it's my favorite. So with the concealer, you want to go at least 2 shades lighter than what you are. So when we talk about shade, we're talking about the color of your skin, right? So for you to know the color of your skin, you look at your foundation. So you look at your foundation color and then you look for a color that's lighter than your foundation color, maybe by 2 colors, right? And for me, I like using this, and I'm going to place the concealer here and then all the way up here. Notice how I'm avoiding this area underneath my eye like this. Here, avoid putting any concealer there, right? With concealer, I want to bring out my features. I want to pronounce these features underneath my eyes, right? And then I normally go with it on top of my nose like this. I put a little bit on the forehead, right? And I like also going here, right? I like doing the concealer first before I do the contour because I want the concealer to sit so that it becomes not tacky, but it sort of dries up. As the concealer dries up, it has more coverage, so it will cover a lot of the under eyes and give it a nice color. So whilst my concealer is drying up, I go in with my contour. And lately the contour I've been using is Baby Got Bronze, this little baby. It's almost finished, so I can't take it out, so I use it directly. So I use it right out of the container. And then the brush I like using for contour is this angled brush. As you can see, it's not straight here. It goes like this. It's slanted like this at an angle. So I put the brush here to pick up all the product, right? And placement is important. Where you put your concealer, your contour, sorry, is important, right? I put my contour here just after you remember we put the blush on first. We have the blush on, and then just below the blush, right, the contour is supposed to go here, and I put it down like this, and I drag it down like this. I will drag it down all the way up until somewhere here, right? Let me take a little bit more product, and then put your contour like this, right? Remember, make sure your blush and your contour meet somewhere and they blend in together. This is so that you don't get harsh lines. Here, this is where we are going to place the contour. Again, you blend it going up rather than down because we don't want to pull our face down, right? So we blend it going up, and then we stop somewhere here, right? What contour does is it brings your features inwards. It creates shadows. You know the way the human face was created? Number one, you don't have the same shade or the same color on your face naturally, right? Secondly, our face has dark parts, or what I like to call, well, not I like to call it, but what it's called shadows. This is why when you see a painting, if someone is painting or drawing a face, there are usually parts of the face that they make darker. This is the same thing with applying makeup. We're mimicking that, right? So when we put in our contour, these are the areas you want to go back in to create a shadow, to get snatched. Since I have a 1.5 chin, it's not a double yet, I like taking my concealer from here and then going all the way down like here, and then conceal underneath my jawline like this. Think from the ear just underneath the jaw, and then you blend here around my face and into the hairline. We'll do it properly when I take out the wig band, but yes, into the hairline like this. Okay, the next thing for me is blending out the concealer, right? And I like blending out concealer with a brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. You can use any concealer brush that you have. It's a small fluffy brush, but it's curved at the top like this. It's like a dome, right? So what you do with your blush is you start by blending out like this, right? You don't start at the center of the concealer. You start at the edges of the concealer and you blend it out like this. Make sure to avoid the area right under your eye. Notice how when we are blending the concealer, we are sort of covering the blush. It is fine. That's how it's supposed to be. Don't worry about the blush. We are going to go back in and put powder blush. Make sure you blend. And the nice thing, or the one thing I like about this technique is we've put the contour, we've put the blush and the concealer. The way they overlap into each other when we blend, it's such a nice way, such that you don't see harsh lines. You don't see where the blush starts and where it ends, where the contour starts, where it ends, and where the highlight starts and where it ends. That's why we stack the products the way we do, right? So this is how we do it. This is the blush, right? And then underneath the blush, we place our contour. This is the darker color here. This is the blush, the pink blush. This is our contour. We don't place our contour underneath the blush. We place our contour just slightly on top of the blush like this, right? so that when we blend, there's a nice overlap and they blend into each other nicely. The same thing with the highlight. When we put that light shade, this one, we don't put it directly on top. When we blend it, we want it to bleed a little bit like this so that they overlap as well into the pink blush. I'm spacing out into the pink blush, and therefore it creates a staking effect. That staking effect is seamless. You don't see where one product starts and one product ends, right? So that's the one thing I like about it. I didn't put any product here, but I normally use the same brush. We go in and I do my chin because I like highlighting my chin like this. There is no need to use too much product. We have enough already, right? And then same brush, and then I do my nose. I blend my nose, blend, right? Even if it spills out, it's fine. Remember, we haven't contoured the nose yet, right? And then with the same brush, I go underneath and slightly highlight here. Same brush, I didn't go in to put any more product. I go in and do this. Let's say, for instance, you've lost your blush and your concealer and your contour. This is a contour brush. We're gonna go in and just do the contour again. We're not dipping it in any product, just the contour again. We're doing it this side, just the contour, right? If you remember, we didn't blend the product. I didn't put any products underneath the eye like this. With the same brush that we've been using, we are going to go in and take the product out just a little bit and then go all the way up. Remember, we still have a lot of concealer on our face. You never run out of. Do you see that? Now when you blend your concealer, try to look up and then blend going all the way up until the end of the eyelid. The reason we do that is we don't want our foundation and our powders to cake in here where there are lines. You see, underneath my eyes, there's folding and there are lines, right? Sometimes when we do our makeup like this, the makeup goes and settles within these lines. Let me use a comb. The makeup goes and settles in these lines like this. And then when you put eyeshadow, not eyeshadow, when you put your powder, all right, the powder also goes and settles into these lines. Now you have creases on your makeup. So the only way to avoid creases or to minimize creases, right, is to put minimal product. We still want product there, but we want minimal product. We want as little product as possible. This is why I employ this technique. Okay, the next step after this is powder, setting powder. Setting powder. I'm using the Catrice Soft Blur setting powder, this one. So this is an absolute translucent powder. I put a little bit on the lid. This is how you add your powder, right? So first thing, make sure you go in with a brush. Make sure there's no creasing and no product is sitting underneath. And then I go in with a fluffy brush like this. Take a little bit of the powder. Take off any excess powder and then go underneath the one eye, pressing the powder in. Pressing the powder in. The idea of this is to have the powder set the concealer. We want the powder to set the concealer so that the concealer is not going to move into the creases of the eye, right? We take some more. I like doing it with a brush because the brush doesn't take as much product onto the skin. This is how it's looking on the one side. We've set this side. And then before you do the other side, you do the same technique. You go in underneath the eye. Tap, 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 tap. And then same brush, same technique, right? Just underneath the eye. Once I'm done, I'm gonna go back in and just make sure that all the places that have small lines or that have creases or that could crease, we also set them with a little bit powder. I have small lines here. right? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face. I'm using a translucent powder on every place that I put the concealer, right? This is a translucent powder. It's whitish or pinkish. It doesn't make you white. It melts into your skin. That's what a translucent powder does. It melts into your skin. It doesn't make you white. And I like this one from Catrice because there's a little sieve here, a little net here. So I can literally just dab it in like this without any issue. The next step is going in with our powder contour. The powder contour that I'll be using is this one from Switch Beauty. If you have been watching this channel for long enough, you know I've had this for years and years and years. And I think this is the best contour out on the market. However, they long discontinued this. It's not on the market. And this one is holding on for dear life. I hit pan a long time ago. I want to show you what it looks like. So it used to have two colors. It had a contour color and a bronzing color. Now it looks like this. It's dead, dead, dead. But that has never stopped anyone. So I'm going to go in with a dense brush like this. It's not as mushroomed on top. It doesn't open as much. And that's how I want it. I go into the powder here. Oh, this is a work of faith. I tap any excess powder so that I don't have a lot of powder. Remember, we have a lot of powder already on the brush. So hold your brush almost at the tip, closer to the tip like this. Just here closer to your ear, right? And then lightly do little circle motions like this. We are going to all the places that we put the contour. Like this. We do it lightly because we don't want to go in and go straight and then concentrate a lot of the product in one place. Because remember, where you start by putting your brush, that spot is going to have a lot of product. So we start with little circles, and then once we don't have as much on the brush, we blend it out like this. We go underneath the face like this. Remember, we put the contour here. The dark contour is here. So we set the dark contour with the powder contour as well. And then we go, right, I also take it here. We'll do the forehead properly when I take off the wig band. You go back in with your powder brush, right? And then you just tap it in like this so that things blend nicely here. You tap in like this. It's time for us to contour the nose. Remember, we haven't contoured the nose yet. So I'm using this little brush here, and I've already dipped it into the contour. And then we start from where our eyebrow ends. We put a little bit of product, and then we drag it all the way down. Make sure there's a great blend here. I'm going to go in with my powder. This is my pressed powder. This is from Maybelline. This is also broken, but this is my face powder in my actual skin tone. I'm going to, that's too much. I'm going to take a little bit of it, right? And then just blend the rest of my face. Just make sure I put powder on every bit of my face so that I'm not shiny, and I set the foundation in areas where there's no powder. There's no translucent powder. What I also like doing with the brush is I also like to go to the places like here where the contour meets the actual powder, and where the contour rather meets all the other powders, right? And I like blending in with my pressed powder, my color pressed powder like this. Not too much. I also do this to the nose so that it doesn't look too cartoony, like too gimmicky, or like we're in a circus or something. I'm using this blush duo that I got. I believe it was Discam. It's Nikki K. It should be Discam. It was always in the discount or the sale bin, right? And it has this beautiful orange that I like here, but it also has this pink, right? So this is this duo palette, what I normally do is I get the orange and I get the pink and I mix them together because I'm extra, right? Remember where we placed the blush before? We are gonna go in with the powder and set, right? I'm not a huge fan of blush. I'm trying to get used to it on my face. I normally do put it, but I don't do too much because I don't know what I think. If you think you did too much and you want to take out a bit of the blush from your face, you go in with this brush. Remember, it's the one we used to put our face powder on. Just go and brush it slightly. If you think you have lost the contour on your face, you go in with the contour brush. You don't dip it in anything. You just come with it as is, and then you just go ahead and then just... Okay, an extra step that I do because I want my under eye to be slightly brighter than this, just a little brighter. Sorry, I take this brighten up powder from Essence. It's a pressed powder for brightening up the face. They call it's a banana powder. I take a little bit, guys. This is white. I don't know why they call it banana powder. And then I put a little bit behind my hand like this. Do you see how much of it is there? And then I just go in there. So we're done with all our powders. What's next is we want to melt in the powder so that they don't look ashy on our faces. And for us to do that, we use our setting spray. This is an essential in your makeup bag. I have this Rimmel London multitasker. This is not my favorite, but it was really affordable when I got it. So that's what I'm using. As always, the first spray is to the air. And then remember, we want to set the powders so that they don't look ashy. We want the powders to melt into our skin. And then we just let it dry for a little bit. I have this bad boy. Okay, we are back. I went off camera to spruce myself up. This part where we're covering with a headband, this is what I would normally do, right? I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, not a whole lot because I don't want the wig to lift. Just gonna put a little bit just on the ends because remember when we contour our face, the darker color goes onto the edge like this. And then I'm going to get my contour powder as per normal. I'm gonna put it on the brush like this, tap off any excess, and then I'm just gonna go here and just blend it all over where the wig was, where the wig band was. Oh yes. Right, and then just to blend everything together, because you see the hash line there, I'm gonna go in with my powder, my face powder. Just gonna clean it up here, make sure everything blends in nicely together. There we go. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is how I look, right? The reason I like the technique that I do is when we are done, everything blends into each other perfectly. You don't see hash lines from anywhere of contour or concealer or anything like that. Everything is there. You can see the effect on my face, the effect it gives. That's what we want with a contour and highlight. We don't want marks here that look like, I don't know, black and disconnected to everything in the face. We want everything to melt, and this is why I like the technique that I use. And this is the final product that we have. My eyes are not caking, everything is just perfect. And this is a closer look. Like always, guys, I appreciate you so much for joining me in today's video. It was a good time. Thank you so much again for joining me. I think I said thank you a million times, but I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. And until I come back with another video, it's bye for now.